Okay, this is first geometric construction one. When you're doing geometric construction, it's all about projecting lines, and it's all about orthographic projection and generators, basically. So we're going to start off. Basically, this is two cylinders which are joined together. Okay, so this is the big one, this is a smaller one. Now it could be that's a pipe and that's a drain pipe going into it, or whatever. We don't really know what it is, but first of all we have to do the completed plan and elevation. So plan here, elevation here, and if you think about it, if this is a cylinder here, then if you're looking at it from above, which it is when you look at a plan, then what you're going to see is a curve here. Okay, so we need to work out where does that curve come from. Well, you can see that if you look at that line there, you're obviously going to have some information about the end of the pipe here included in this, right? So what we need to do first of all is get some generators on here, okay, and project points up from the generators up to here. Okay, and that'll allow us to work out what it looks like. So first things first is I'm going to draw a circle, semicircle, on the end of this here. Really common practice for this type of drawing. Okay, so to get it right would help. Needle right into the board and then just draw it round. Okay, so I need to do generators for this now. The difference with this obviously is that it's at an angle, so how do we deal with that? Okay, well there's a couple of ways you can do it. The way that I favour is two set squares. Okay, so one there so that you've basically got it straight, and then all you need to do then is just use the two set squares to actually divide up produce your angles. Okay, so you can actually not really have too many generators when you're doing this. You can't have too many because you want as many points as you possibly can when you're doing it. It's a bit awkward this, but this is the way to do it. And then get the final one. Get it around the right way. So it's not that, obviously. It's not that. Must be that. So just have to move this right the way round. Okay, so I've now got my generated points there. Okay, and the key thing now is to use the set square here just to come down onto the edge. Okay, so what we do now is we're going to project up from each of these 7 points up to here, and we're also going to put another semicircle on the end here. Okay, and that's going to help us to form up the shapes. Right, so there's lots of generator drawing and the like, and also we're going to do some labelling as well of some of the points that we create as well. So I'm just going to do the same here. This is at least sugar. It's at least a bit easier to do than that one because we're not having to worry too much about two set squares. Okay, now I'll just divide this up. Okay, and then again, just draw lines from the cut points where the generators cut the semicircle and bring these in. Okay, need to actually extend these a bit more, as you'll see shortly. Okay, so now we've got our generators. Now, what you need to think about for a minute is if I label these up, right, which I'm going to do, I'm going to call that A, B, C, D, E and F. E, F and then G at the very end. Okay. Now, clearly we're looking at the side here of, I have it today of throwing any extra lines I don't need to. We're looking at the side here. So we're looking from above, which is what we've got here. That point there is A. Okay, because that's the very point, that's the very top. So that's A there. Okay, so that means that as we go down, that's B, and that's C, and then that point at the very bottom is D. Okay, and on the other side, okay, if you can think about the other side of the line, where the centre line is here, A, you've also got B, C and D. Okay, and when it comes to E, F and G, then they're obviously like on the underside of it, but for the sake of what we're going to do just now, that's really all that we need to think about. Okay. Right, so what do we do now? Well, what we do now is we're going to project up from these points up to they meet their sort of corresponding lines up here, and that's going to allow us to form an ellipse here, which will be what we would see at the end of it. So now project up. So from A, I know there's going to be a point there. From B, take that right the way through, because I've got two B's. I've got B there, I've got B there. Okay, from C, C there, and C there. And then from D, it's there, and there. Okay, now we've got to think about E, F and G. Now, if you think about the shape of this is obviously a cylinder, okay? C and E are going to be directly below one another, okay? So I'm going to write E on this side, okay, and I'm going to write E on that side of the line. Then F is going to be in the same position as B, so I'm going to write F there, I'm going to write F there, and then G is going to be the same position as A, I'm going to write G there. So if I project up from G, get a point there, project up from F, I'm going to get a point there, and I'm also going to get a point up there, and then finally from E, project up, I'm going to get a point there, and I'm going to get a point there. Okay, so I now have enough points to form the semicircle, okay, or the ellipse. So just the kind of usual manner, smooth curve through the points. Okay, I find going up and to the right is where I can produce my smooth curves. Till I'm concentrating, not saying anything. Okay, so that's basically the shape of the end part, and that's the plan now completed. What we're going to do now after this one is we're going to complete the elevation. And if you can imagine this cylinder coming and joining this cylinder, what you're going to get is a kind of curve, something like that there. Okay, it's going to be roughly like that if you imagine these surfaces meeting one another. And how we're going to find out where they meet is by using same generators here to hit this surface, which will then project down, and then we'll tie them in with these generators here to produce the curve. We'll do that in the next video.